Hello everyone, welcome back to J Journeys. Today I have a very special guest with me and I'm very excited to talk more to her about life and the human experience and the navigating the spiritual path and evolving and growing and her name is Sigrid Brelid. Thank you for being with us today, Sigrid. Today we're going to have a chat about tea ceremony and what that practice has for teachings, and also your journey and where you're at today and what you do and what you offer, and just pick your brain and hear more about all your insights from being in this space for a long time and really living through all the things. So yeah, thank you for being here, and tell us a bit more about yourself and what you do, and you're in Bali now. Are you in Ubud currently?
I'm in Ubud, yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So thanks for having me, first of all. I don't know where to start with this. So tea is still very much a new path for me, which is beautiful. I love to be a student again within something. But I guess actually my journey, my spiritual journey started here in Ubud in 2016. So that's when everything came together with this modality called CAP, the Kundalini activation process. And I started with the energy work and started to have my awakening journey. And now I'm back here. A lot has happened since then. I'm starting my own kind of energy work that I call source transmission. And yes, it's been a journey. So I don't know if you want to talk more about that work in specifically, but
Can you explain a bit of what you're doing today about the source transmission? Because that's very intriguing and it's something new that you're birthing to the world, I guess. But it's also something that's evolving in terms of or connected to your own process, I guess.
Yes. So yeah, how do I explain it? So most people know this work as Kundalini activation, life force activation. To me, it's just beyond this, and I don't like to put any labels to it. To me, it's beyond Kundalini. We're working with life force energy, but it's like to put a framework onto it, it kind of limits it, in my opinion. And I just think it's so beautiful. As I kind of broke out of this little cap world or bubble I was living in, I just had this strong sense of we all need to step into our uniqueness with this and not just follow this structure or framework. It felt very limiting. And so that's kind of where I'm heading right now. So to explain what I'm doing, I call it source transmission because for me from the start, it's been so natural. I just kind of blend in with the space, and my personality is just it steps aside, and it's just the Divine Mother Shakti life force takes over with full trust that she's doing what she needs to do. The people that are receiving this simply allows it. So it's not at all like a forceful process. It's simply about allowing and opening up to spirit and allowing this higher intelligence to do what it needs to do. It's like strengthening our connection with ourselves, really. And our systems, our bodies knows how to heal, how to connect. And that's a process that starts happening through this transmission. And I would like to highlight that it's not me having a specific energy that I'm giving. I simply tap into a field where this becomes possible, and everyone is connecting to their source, to their inner. So Sorry, you disappeared. What did you say?
So it's about like remembrance, right? I think you also used that word.
Yes, I use that word a lot. Yeah. So that tends to be like the common theme in my work is the remembrance,
Mm.
um, the remembrance of who we truly are, beyond all these beliefs and yeah, beyond this. I don't want to call it illusion anymore. Like it's very much part, like an expression of source. But
Mm.
yeah, when we can see beyond, it's like yeah, and just come into beingness.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's incredible. So it's a purification journey. It's like um oh yeah, what do I even call it? Yeah, it's a purification journey, and
Mm.
it's an inner alignment going on. And eventually, if we continue with this process for a longer time, it's um, it's just more coming into a deep presence and stillness and understanding and inner knowing.
Mm.
And that's where I'm heading now more, because I feel that there's been so much kind of um, confusion within this work, and people are very confused about what is it not. And the focus for me now is just to truly empower people. It's not about like copy paste someone else's work, but really coming into our own unique power, and everyone have their own unique blueprint and their own unique energy and their gifts that is coming through when we open up to this. And then they can then pass that on to people in various ways. It doesn't have to be through facilitation. It can be through art or dance or whatever they feel called to. Yeah.
That's so beautiful. And what I'm gathering and what I hear from also, that was more than a year ago, but I have been to your classes as well. And it's all about receiving, right? And it's like a homecoming back to truth and back to the human consciousness, and like as you said, like a purification. And there are many modalities for purification, like you purify your body through eating clean high like vibrational alkaline foods, but also through a yoga practice or through meditating to clear your thoughts out. And this is another way of coming back to that truth within us and the
Yes.
beingness, and the be what really is, like it's like a purity of being as well, I guess, and to shower yourself off what's not the real you.
Yes. And I find it like that's also a reason I like to call it source transmission, because it's really just about coming back to the self, to the true self. And
Mm.
that can look in so many ways for different people, because we're all, in different places with this. But um, the beautiful thing with this is that whatever needs to happen, if we are just present with what is going to happen, and we're going to transform and transcend and deepen.
Mm.
It's yeah, the beauty. It's really so simple, because we don't need to thrive for anything. I think that can be a bit of a mind fuck in this practice, when it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I want this and I want this and I want this specific connection or this phenomena or whatever
Mm.
it may be. But all of it is just a journey back to self. Whatever we're experiencing, some of us are gonna have like healing. It could be a past life thing. It could be whatever can
Mm.
occur. But as long as we can be present with that, that is like the key
Mm.
to back to self.
Mm.
It's a never ending journey. Like as a human being, it's a never ending journey. But
Mm.
yeah, it's truly beautiful in so many ways.
Yeah. And it's, I think when you can go to this kind of class or get this kind of transmission, it's kind of initiates a path, or the path can start to reveal itself, because you're starting to tap in, as you say, when you start to connect with yourself, you're coming into harmony with your place in the universe and your, as you said, blueprint, and you're awakening the essence of who you really are on the inside, even though you might have been like confused, or as you said, like illusion. Like we sometimes just forget, and that's kind of when we come here as humans and the soul, we are programmed to forget, and then we kind of find this path of remembering and coming home to ourselves, and finding that place within us that is light and the divine, I guess, in one way. Even though this sounds very fluffy, that kind of feels like what's happening. And it's like the intelligence,
Yeah.
nature's intelligence. It's, as you said, you can't really put a name on it, because it's just the spiral of evolution that organically happens with any being, and plant and forest and flower and whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny
So
because it's like there's so much I can say about it, but in the end, it's so simple.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I totally
Um,
understand it's hard to explain this kind of thing, because it's an experience, it's something that you experience, right? So
yes, exactly. And I can talk, about source non-duality, and it's kind of irrelevant until you have actually sensed it. You know
mm,
what I mean? So yeah, you just got to try it out. But now there's a whole world of facilitators doing different kinds of transmission work. It's really like amplifying. It's just getting
yeah.
really big. So yeah, it's beautiful.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mm.
so moving on to your latest, I guess, endeavor with the tea. I'm just curious to
Mhm.
hear about that process and that journey, and I don't know very much about tea ceremony. It's been in my field, and I'm very curious about it, since spending time also in like Japan and Asia, where tea is a very important part of life. And also me being half British, I mean, I have grown up a lot with tea, and my dad would always be like, let's put the kettle on, and this kind of thing. But I find that this work that you found is even deeper, and I'm very curious to hear more about it.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I'm in a little love story with tea at the moment. I'm sitting here with my favorite cup right now.
Oh, amazing.
It's amazing. I'm just obsessed. I'm like, I spend a lot of money on tea. But it's incredible. It's like, it feels like an art form. Like I can just stare at these things for ages, and like, it's so beautiful. Like, it's not just the tea in itself. It's like the whole ceremony, the music that is
Mm,
playing, and but yeah, I'm like I said, I'm still very much a beginner with tea. So it's interesting. My journey with the energy started here in 2016. Then I've been all over the world since then. I haven't been touching on tea whatsoever. And then now when I came back here to live, this time it's just like this whole world of tea is opening up for me, and it's so
wow.
beautiful. It's so funny. It sounds like the most boring thing, and but every time I send people to these ceremonies, they're amazed. It's incredible. So yeah, this is like an ancient, but it's a very old mindfulness practice that Buddhists used to, like Buddhist monks used to practice.
Mm,
So it's really been around, but in the Western world, like our view of tea is like, a little bag in water, and that's that. And I never
okay.
been into it in that way, so I'm so surprised. But here it's yeah, a friend brought me, I think, or introduced me to it, and I went, and it's more like, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a ceremony, and it's very structured. It's not like you just pour a cup of tea. It's like way more complicated. In Japan, I believe they have like a 3-year education on this, or I mean, it's a lifelong thing.
Mm,
It's really like, and it's like becoming a skilled meditation practitioner or whatever.
like being coming at
Um,
wines or something.
yeah. So yeah, I don't even know where to start. It's really, for me, that is, I'm very much an up and out person. And for me, it's been so like grounding, and you're like
Mm.
really connected, but at the same time, you're very much here. So that has kind of been, it's brought me some kind of balance in life. And every
Yeah.
day I practice this, and it has become so much like it's beyond meditation. It's like pure beingness.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, it's just like a bridge. And because you drink this, like, just pure, like the purest nature, like from
Mm.
these old trees, and it's like a communication with Mother Earth in a way.
Oh,
Might sound a bit out of it, but it's really true. Like every time I come in and I sit with tea, it's like I find my clarity, I find my answers, and I feel like almost like feeling Mother Earth in my heart, like speaking to
wow.
me. And it's different every time. It's like, but yeah, whatever is going on for you, like to come into this, it's, yeah, you find all the answers. It's beautiful.
Wow.
So I did it completely, yeah, only for myself because it has helped me so much in so many ways.
Mm.
But then I started to try it a little bit in my trainings and in my sessions to just start with the tea ceremony. And
Mm.
now all of my students are doing it as well because it really complements the energy work in such a
Yeah.
beautiful way. It's just for integration, for beingness. It's like a deep, deep presence, and combined with the energy, it's just magical. It's because the energy sessions, it's a lot of release, a lot of movement, a lot of yeah,
Quite active.
uh, very active. Yeah. So this is more coming into the stillness, and it really helps with the connecting on a deeper level, but still working with the energy.
Mm.
So yeah, it's beautiful what people share. So I didn't plan on doing it, but now I'm continuing to do it because it's just given so much. People share like, oh, I saw the energy like swirl in the bowl, and then it went into my cells, and yeah, it's truly beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued, and I find also, as you said about the ancient practices, I feel like almost that we're collectively becoming more and more drawn to the ancient stuff and the because now in a world where everything is so buzzing and there's so much stimulation and content, I think we need
Hmm.
to be reminded of how we would live back in the days when everything was more simple. And for myself, I find that I really yearn for simplicity in my daily life, and I find
Yeah.
these kind of like rituals and sacred moments really allow to connect with simplicity of like just being, because that's the most like
Yes.
simple, that's the most simple way of or navigating life, I think. So I do find that this,
Yeah.
and also as you said, like I'm also very much more airy in my nature and a bit more like vata, I guess. And I remember when I was at a yoga retreat in Ubud actually, and they had tea for different doshas. So they had like a vata tea, and that was really grounding. I don't know exactly what was in there, but it was like herbs for grounding coming into your body. And I remember drinking that, and it was like an instant shift. Like my energy just balanced out, and I was like,
Yeah.
ah,
And every tea is different. It's incredible. Like some of them is just like phew, and some are more like grounding you, holding you here.
mm,
Yeah, it's crazy. We had one a few days ago when I held a training. We went to a girl that does it in a beautiful way here in Ubud, and that was very like Egyptian priestess coast. Everyone saw these Egyptian signs, and
mm,
everyone felt like their wombs connecting. And it's like that only ever happened in that specific way. It's like an energy session, and it really matters who is coming together, and you connect with the whole
mm.
group, and it just creates this little vortex in there. Yeah. Um, and yeah, I think it becomes so obvious what you're saying, like how we need to slow down. And it's not by like trying to sit here and strictly meditate. It's just through this beingness. You can tell for like every round, for every sip, how everyone like calms down a little bit more. Like the calmness sneaks up on you. I think it feels like you're tricking the mind because you feel like you're doing nothing. But you still, you just sit there, drink tea. You don't overthink it in any way.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, people are just like, whoa, how was that even possible?
Wow.
So it's beautiful. And speaking of that as well, it's the same with my energy work and with tea. It's been around, but I think we
Mhm.
haven't been ready for this kind of depth. Yes, it had to gradually kind of build, but I feel like we came into a time now where it's like, yes, a huge shift where people are ready for it. So
Yeah,
I feel like that's why it's spreading, because maybe also because of internet. People are more aware of what's out there.
that's true.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I'm curious to hear what kind of tea is like common practice to use? How is it just that you have the tea leaves? Do you have like, and then you pour the water, or how does it work like practically?
So I have to be honest, I'm not far from an expert of tea. I like Shupuer tea, which is like a darker tea. I drink it. I can show you. So this is like a teapot that I have, like a signed handle teapot from Europe. It's really hard to get these things. This is also like it's a whole it's a whole thing to even get these pieces. And I do like bowl tea, so there's all kinds of tea
Mm,
setups. There's like Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, and there's so really, if any tea professional are watching this, don't judge me.
yeah, have
For
grace.
me, yeah, for me, it's like um, more energetic. The reason I got into this was because, well, a friend brought me, I met this woman and I was like, I know I need to go to her for some reason. And I felt very drawn. And I don't know why I started to pay all this money to do these things. And I was like, it's just for me. This is a bit reckless. But I realizing why now. It's just spreading, like it's changing my whole life, really.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I drink Shupware tea from China. Um, and I don't think I should even be speaking about this because I need to learn more. I need to learn
yeah,
about all the teas. But of course, like the whole tradition comes from China and then was brought to Japan and Taiwan. So yeah, I guess I'm close to there now, so I can go over and learn. But
yeah.
I'm very lucky because there's so many tea people here in Ubud. It's
Mm.
very unusual to have this many people around that you can learn from and sit with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause that's what I felt when I saw that you started this journey. I was like, because it had been in my consciousness, I think, since Yoga Girl back in the days. I know that she used
Hmm.
to do tea ceremonies, so that's kind of how I was introduced.
Ah,
Yeah, this is like,
okay.
I don't know, maybe 10, I don't know, 8 years ago when she was living in Aruba. And I remember seeing she had this little like station, and then she had her kettle, and it was like her little moment of tea. And I
Ah,
found it so beautiful. And also, I think that when it comes to tea, I'm also gravitating towards like flower tinctures, and I think that the frequency of the herbs is so high, right? And tea leaves, and I think that there's something there's so many healing properties as well induced.
yeah, it's truly a
Tea.
medicine.
Yeah, it's like you can really heal not serious maybe, but like conditions or ailments through like peppermint
Yeah.
property, and there's so many cool herbs in the tea leaves.
Yeah, it's incredible. And that's I guess they merge these worlds. Like people who
Mm.
do Chinese medicine, they often recommend different teas, to use for healing and for all kinds of things. So it really has that. And the purification. It's like, yeah, it's funny because it's so similar to the energy work I do in its own way. It's really complementing that. But yeah, there's such a big world. It's the green and white and black and red, yellow tea even, and yeah, there is so much. But I tend to be drawn to this kind of darker kind of teas. But
Mm.
yeah, and also, it is like lotus. Love drinking the lotus flower tea. That's
Yeah.
also yeah, super calming. When it's gotten a bit much of the other, then I have that. It's like relaxing.
I remember I
Yeah.
had a period where I was drinking the rose petal tea from Anima Mundi. I don't know if you know about it. And it's like this rose, it's in a powder form. And it's like
Okay.
pink. It's 100% rose petals. And when I drank
Ah.
it, like, oh, and I guess that's a flower, so it's a bit different. But the way that it opened my heart and the feeling and the sensations I would feel in my heart space, I was like mesmerized, and it was also so beautiful. And I think that's a bit what we've been into, that tea is like an art and I guess a science and like a practice. It's a bit like yoga, that it's has so much depth in it, and also like how
Hmm.
you drink it, and having ceremony, and I just remember drinking those rose petals, those pink like bowls of rose petals, and being like, like also very feminine energy from the rose. So
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. There's so much. Yeah. Yeah. I have so many thoughts right now. Um, yeah, it's truly beautiful. I guess it's the herbal, it's slightly different, but it all has its qualities. I guess we're drawn to whatever we need in the moment.
yeah,
Um,
if someone
and
that's listening, oh sorry,
no, what were you saying?
I was just gonna, if someone's listening and they're like, "Oh, I want to try to do my own little tea ceremony," or how can I like start practicing this if I want to already today, even if I can't sit in a ceremony, if that's not really available where I'm living, what would you like recommend to do to get started on this journey? How
I
did
mean,
you?
I guess it's the simplest thing. All you need is tea, a bowl, and a and a pot, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so simple. So yeah, I mean, of course, it's different to do the whole ceremony setup,
Mm.
but you can always just sit and drink tea.
Yeah.
That is the whole thing. You can always just do it on your own at home.
Mm.
Um, and it may not be the exact same as going to a ceremony, but you can definitely connect just on
Beautiful.
your own. Yes.
That's so, it's so nice that it's so also, I guess, in that way accessible. So that really you'd need so little things, and it's often in the simple things that we can find the most depth and connection, I guess.
Yeah. The only thing I would recommend is to get like a high quality tea. It's really worth to invest in that because it's not the same, with the Western kind of little tea bag.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's important um, that it's like a pure tea,
Mm.
an organic, high quality.
Mm.
Um, there's yeah, I went to this little tea course with this amazing woman, and I asked her like, where can I get good teas? Um, it's tricky because it comes from China, most of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they do have a little tea plantation here in Bali as well, so they can make some teas. Um, but yeah, she was like, yeah, you need to really have, know the right people and ask your tea friends because they are the people who sells tea, which is more like, mass production, spray
Yeah.
it and make it grow fast so we can sell more. And
Mm.
then there are the tea lovers, and they do it in a very, there's like, I think the one I'm drinking right now is from China. I always forget like what the areas are called, but it's from like really old trees.
Wow.
Um, so it's like, yeah, it's been growing there for I don't know how long, but it's a long process. So that's why it's so expensive and a bit harder to get. But yeah, that is important.
Yeah, that's good to know, because I do find that I know that a lot of like teas and tea bags can have a lot of chemicals, and I guess you don't want
Yeah.
that has had loads of chemicals on the crops or the plants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, but if we move on for the tea and just in general, I'm curious to hear now you're based back in Bali since a way back, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of people maybe have a yearning to live the kind of life that you're living, like living more freely and in a place where there's a lot of facilities and context for us to be able to dive deeper into these kind of practices and modalities and like the conscious people. I'm just curious to hear some reflections and being back in Ubud and living your life in Bali right now after I've lived around the world a bit, and what brought you back to the island and this kind of thing.
Yeah. So, well, years ago when I came here for the first time, I think it was 2016. I
Mm,
came here after a burnout and I was just so amazed. It's like everything was so synchronized, everything just fell into place. I met the exact people I needed to meet. Everything is just heightened. It's like the healing
mm,
here is amplified like times 10 or something. Everything, it can be challenging. It's like a little bit intense. But you're also very like supported and held here.
mm,
So I was always very much drawn here. Then I got together with my ex-partner, and we traveled all over the world for work. And we came back here like every now and then. And I always like, I never want to leave. I just want to stay here.
mm.
But yeah, we had to move on. And so now when I'm a single mother, it just felt right to come here because life here is very simple. Like I said, we supported, the people are amazing. It's so much devotion in the air because of
Yeah.
their religion they have. It's like constant prayer, constant offerings, to the
Mm,
gods and to the ancestors. And so in that way, it's really beautiful. But it is a lot of, now it's they have this whole thing with the light and the dark. So it is, there's an intense energy here.
yeah.
And I think people come to really learn some lessons. And they say when Mama Bali is done with you, she kicks you out. And I feel like that is very much true. So
Yeah.
every day I'm here, I'm like, okay, I'm happy to still be here. We'll see how long it lasts. That's how it feels a little bit. But this time it feels very much like home, like
Mm,
a little bit calmer. So I think it will last for a while at least.
mm. Yeah, it's nice to have some rootedness as well when you're navigating like shifts in your life in general.
Mm-hmm.
Have somewhere where you
Yeah.
have some roots down.
Yes. Yeah. And it's so um yeah, I'm very sensitive to my surroundings. I find it hard to stay anywhere for a longer period of time. I
Yeah.
just need to constantly move on. And wherever I'm at, I need to be out on the countryside somewhere because it's just too much in the cities. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's hectic. So, yeah, this is just a beautiful, it's pretty much the only place where I feel like supported in a way or feel nourished. And yeah, it's a very simple life. And of course, like you say, they have all even though I rarely go to the events and stuff, but you can always go dancing, you can go,
Yeah.
there's like, they have everything. And all the
Mm,
Balinese healing. Well, yeah,
yeah.
I think yeah, there's nothing missing here.
No.
They have it all.
Everything's accessible now that you're talking about it. I had because I my journey also started in Bali. I was in living in Hong Kong, and then I was not burned out, but I was having my kind of like awakening process where I was like, whoa, I need to find some kind of sense of peace. And I booked a yoga and meditation retreat in Ubud actually. And then I stayed for like 2 months, and I just went to yoga every day, and I went vegan and just immersed myself in that. And as you say, Bali, it has such a holding energy, I feel. I remember arriving the first day just in the taxi from the airport, and I was like, it almost felt like I was home, and something just, I just instantly felt like grounded in my being, and the nature, and as you say, that the people there, the Balinese people are so lovely, and the offerings on the street, that everyone is so connected in some way. So it's, yeah, I really
Yeah.
why you can find like you can find like refugee there and also feel very um but as you say, it's also a volcano, right? So it's like stuff comes up.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, for sure. I think it's an intense place to be for a lot of people in that way. Yeah, but I kind of enjoy it when you're into your spiritual awakening, or yeah, what I should call it, then I think it's a good place to be.
Mm,
Like when you are open to that. Of course, it has. I feel like this is a place that has so many layers. Like
yeah.
there's the tourism and this whole kind of surface layer, what's going on top of everything, but then it has this deeper layer to it as well.
Mm,
Um, and you kind of just find, yeah, every time I come here, it's like coming to a whole new place, even though I recognize and know everything by now. It's like new worlds opening up, and so many people that comes and goes. It's like always changing and shifting.
mm. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very dynamic.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah, I know the tourism is taking over a little bit, so it's like lots of buildings, so it's going a little bit wild. So
Yeah.
in that way, maybe it's not like the most positive. I hope they can keep it in check. But also like so grateful that we get to come here and be here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really hope that we can be respectful and take care of this place
Mm.
in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think
Mhm.
we need people that, as you mentioned, like when you're sensitive to your surroundings, we need these kind of places. Not, we don't have to maybe live there for the rest of our lives, but for some phases of our lives, I feel like these kind of places are important, even though you don't want to like move into like a local community and as you say, maybe exploit or something. But it can really be a very healing process to go somewhere where you can just let yourself go a bit, and there are places and facilities that can hold you a bit, and just being in the nature and just like not off the grid but still a bit like an alternative lifestyle for to just tap into that for a moment and reconnect and realign and this kind of thing. So yeah, I agree. I hope that they develop it wisely so that it doesn't get totally, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I another topic that I was interested to talk more about or regarding your life is that you are a mother
Mhm.
and to your lovely son. I guess maybe is he at school right now?
He's actually with the babysitter because yeah, they're off. They have this. There's a lot of holidays here, so now it's a holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just curious to hear about your process of motherhood and how you felt that that has changed things for you and what insights you've had and the teachings of
Mhm.
becoming a mother and I guess now also doing it on your own and being very independent in it, but also yeah, asking for help and all the lessons that I guess open up once you embark on the journey of motherhood.
Oh wow, yeah. It's the for sure the greatest challenge in my life,
Mm,
but also the greatest blessing. It's really interesting. I guess also like the toughest lessons we learn the most from. So it's beautiful in that way. It's been very grounding. It's like keeping me here. And well, as you know, I went through quite a dark time, a very difficult, toxic relationship, and well, yeah. So really, without him, I'm not sure I would be out of it. It was thanks to him that I took the step and was like, this is dangerous. This is, yeah, I think, yeah, you know, you can kind of sacrifice yourself, but you won't sacrifice your son. So
Yeah.
I came to a point where it's like, he only has me. I need to do better than this.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, so it's really thanks to him that I took that step and really stepped into my own power. And really, the reason I get up in the morning, because you have to, you know, you have
Yeah.
to. There's no other way, and you want to for their sake, even when it's really, really hard,
Mm.
and when you're really tired. And yeah, I feel like finally we come into a very beautiful place. Because going through this kind of journey I've been through, I've been so tired, like so
Yeah.
tired for over a year now. So it's been so hard for me to be there for him fully. But that's also something here in Bali that is just so beautiful when you can, you know, you can have a great school, very much free
Mm.
play and yoga
Mm.
and I can have support. So yeah, that's really beautiful. And yeah, I mean, yeah, really thanks to him that I am where I am today in so
Mm.
many ways. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible. It's crazy how much, what would you call it? It's like what being a mother, like how much power comes
Yeah.
out of you because it's like,
You
yeah,
become like a lioness.
mama bear. Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. But it is a challenge. So yeah, I was very, very tired and I've been going through my healing here and luckily had the support. I'm so lucky, so blessed to have this support and to be here, to be able to be here, to go through this healing journey.
Mm.
And yeah, we're in a much better place where I can start to, you know, spend more time and be more present. That's the whole thing.
Mm.
Of course, we spent all this time because it's only been us, but to actually be more present with him has been the whole goal this whole time. And it's, yeah, yeah.
That's so beautiful.
It shows a lot in, sorry, it
No, no.
shows so much in his well-being and in his behavior. It shows so much whether I am present or not.
Wow.
When I'm not, it's like "Wah," acting out, you know. And when I am, it's like it just flows. It's so easy. It's so nice
Mm.
to just put the phone away and see the world through a child's eyes and just flow along with that. It's like the best medicine.
Wow. That's
Mm.
it's cool how I guess the bond that you develop with him, and I mean you've had a tough maybe initial years together, but like he's also been your anchor and a teacher in many ways, but the kind of bond that you must be developing like mother to son from these years and from the life that you live, and that you are such a present and conscious mother towards him, like what a blessing in his life too, that you kind of help each other grow and evolve in that way. It's so cool how it works.
Mm. Yeah, I yeah, I'm starting to see signs in him that he's quite sensitive and he also is, yeah, to his surroundings. And so, yeah, I'm starting to, even though he's not exactly like me, but I see a lot of things like that I recognize. I was also like that in his age. So in
Mm.
that way, it's very beautiful that I can, um, oh, I think the power went out here. Oh, um, I think it still works.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bali. But yeah, what was I say? Yeah, so I feel like there's many ways where I can like, okay, I recognize this, and then maybe yeah, I can support him hopefully in a better way. But sometimes as a parent, you also just don't know. It's crazy. You drive
Yeah.
yourself crazy when you don't know how to help your child. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're learning together. It's really yeah, we're doing our best learning together. It's a beautiful journey.
Mm.
It's going to be interesting to see what becomes of him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've met him and he has so much like fun energy, and but you can also tell that he has a lot of depth, and as you say has like the sensitive part too, so he's lucky to have
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah,
resonate.
he tried yoga with you, and
Yeah.
now suddenly he took my yoga mat, rolled it out. I don't even do much yoga, I just have them for the energy work, and starts to do yoga. With you, he was a bit too young, I think. It was a bit
Yeah.
tricky, but he starts like, yeah, incredible. So now I think they learn in school, like a little bit every day they do some yoga. So now he's into it. So we want to come back to your classes.
Yes. Maybe in the future I can have some classes on Bali. Now when you've been talking about
Yeah,
it, it would be nice to
yeah, come here.
that. Yeah. Oh, it makes me
Hmm.
very happy to hear. And my heart, I feel a lot because I, being also a sensitive person, I feel a lot for children that grow up being sensitive as well, because the world and all the structures and a lot of things are not built for the sensitive, and it can be really tough, especially when you're younger, because you're so vulnerable as you can't really fend for yourself in the same way that you can do when you're older.
Yeah, yeah, it is tricky when the world functions in a certain way and you're trying to find whatever word. It's not easy. We're very lucky to have the schools here, but even, yeah, I can tell it's a bit overwhelmed even in classes here. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see how we sort. But, yeah.
Beautiful that I remember when I was actually at the yoga retreat in Ubud, there was this mother there, and apart from going to the retreat, she was visiting Ubud. I think she was from maybe South Korea, and she was visiting Ubud because she was curious about the green school, I think it's called, or the earth school.
Hmm. Yeah,
This
green school.
the green school, yeah, this
Yeah,
conscious that as they taught yoga for the kids, it's like outdoors a lot and very forward
yeah,
thinking, and
yeah,
she
yeah. Very much
there,
for the environment and yeah,
yeah, like sustainability and stuff. And I remember like her talking about it, like, yeah, I'm here because I would like to put my children in this school in the future, so I'm kind of here just looking around a bit and gathering some
yeah.
information. And I thought it was so cool that that kind of school existed. It felt very futuristic.
Yeah, now there are, I mean, that's probably the biggest one.
Mm,
But now there are many like small versions popping up. There's like schools
mm.
everywhere, so it's beautiful. It's a lot
Oh,
to choose between. Yeah, there's a little one where they have like goats and horses and like very like a farm school. It's just
wow.
so beautiful. They get to be out in nature and completely off, any iPads or anything.
Mm,
So yeah, it's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah,
Wow.
that you can
Yeah.
find whatever works. There's so many different approaches. And yeah.
Mm. That's actually
Mm.
very cool because I think being in Europe right now, there isn't that much of an offering of more alternative ways of schooling, I guess, and school is quite formative
Yeah,
as well. So it's nice to have the options at least to find something that resonates more with your approach to life, or something that feels more supportive and that it opens the children's world rather than like makes them too
yeah.
machine or
It
like.
is one of the reasons also that I wanted to come here because
Mm,
it's very different. And yeah, I went home for a moment and I was like, no, it's like he cannot grow up here. This feels very, yeah, it's a whole different world here. And it's
mm,
unusual, I think, that it's like this, at least as far as I know.
definitely.
Um, yeah, it's very free. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
I love that. Well,
Mm.
I'm curious to hear like if you have anything coming up. I know that you have Portal to Grace, and that's kind of a new
Mhm.
project or your new offerings going on. Is there anything else that you're like looking forward to right now in life, or are you just going with the flow?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a very exciting time for me. I'm very, very curious because coming out of this little world I lived in, going through my things and then kind of shaping and forming my own thing. For a while, I was very much like, I'm just going to stop all of this, because I was very, okay, I don't want to go into all this negativity,
Yeah.
but I was very sad, very like disappointed in how this sacred energy is treated and used for personal gain. So I was very much repelled for a long time. I think I shared this with you probably
Yeah.
before. So I thought maybe this path is over for me, but now, like the moment you let go of something, it's just like coming in. So it's a lot changing. I like energetically, it's changing because I cut the cords with everything I was connected to before. Um, I don't like to create any, brand or entity where people work under because I feel that this is more now. I want to take it back to what it is, a path of awakening, and
Mm.
not just pump out facilitators or making people do things in a certain way. I really just want, especially women,
Yeah.
to find their power and be truly empowered and have direct connection to source without being dependent on anything outside of themselves. So I'm feeling called to work with really small groups,
Mm.
and to yeah, just work closer with people. And I enjoy it so much. And here I had to completely start over. It's been a few years since I did beginners classes.
Yeah.
So it's changing and the energy is changing and it's very strong. This, like we said, the remembrance that is like coming out even more strongly, very much, very like cosmic. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it, but
Mm.
it feels very me. Like I enjoyed so much, and I enjoy so much meeting so beautiful woman, like
Mm.
amazing woman who truly gets it. It has this like purity of heart, and they really get it. And I really want to strengthen this woman to go out there and kind of balance all of this out a little bit. Or it's out of my control, but it feels
Yeah.
really like that feels strong in my purpose right now to really um, to talk more. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain this, but yeah, like I said, for me this work, it's like it's about coming home to self, and it's beyond method, beyond structure, beyond formula, and it can look so different for different people. So yeah, I'm kind of stepping back and I'm seeing what unfolds right
Mm.
now, but it's very exciting. I just held a training that finished yesterday, and I'm amazed every time. Like doing this for 8 years now, it never stops, shifting and transforming. And yeah, I needed to go through these kind of dark times in order to step up
Mm.
here and yeah, and create something new. So I don't know if that sums it up or makes any sense at all, but
Yeah, definitely. I'm totally
yeah,
following.
yeah. I guess it does for the people who knows the field I'm working in, perhaps. Yeah,
Yeah. And I
yeah.
think that there's one thing that I really think that you're very gifted at, and I don't know if that's something that you like put a lot of time into, but just when you share stuff, when you write, your way of articulating and expressing these kind of things into writing, I think are I haven't really seen many within this world that I resonate as much with as when you share something.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, so I
I
think
take that as like a really deep compliment because I always found myself to be kind of a person who is not perhaps the best at expressing and speaking and even writing. So
mm,
sometimes I get very like, I guess it's just inspiration, or sometimes I get these hits and I go back
mm,
and it's like, did I really write that? I wouldn't even, I don't know what it
mm,
is coming through. Uh,
yeah.
it
No,
feels
but I
weird.
think that's what I'm also sensing, like the vocabulary, the way that it's very well articulated and very eloquent and very, I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
I think through suffering you learn grace, right? And a lot of your teachings come with a lot of, you can really sense it in the words. So I just wanted to say that I know that it's just maybe a little part of what you do, but those kind of written words, I really, when you think about the process of evolving in the spiral, it's like you're good at putting it into some kind of, as what you say, it's really difficult to explain this. It's just something that happens on our inside, but I think there's a gift there in sharing the message.
Wow, yeah, I haven't. Um, yeah, it's very interesting. Like, you have no idea how much that means to me because I feel like it's something I'm not good at, but I'm starting now because I've been a bit in the shadow, in the past. So starting to speak more, and especially with my students, and they say as well how I think, yeah, this group, they were like, oh my God, like I get it now. And I realized I already know. And I'm like, yes, exactly. It's like, yeah, and they're like, you can answer all of my questions. And I'm like, yeah, I'm surprised to hear it myself. So yeah, you have no idea how much that means to me.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm very happy that it lands, and that what I'm saying is like resonating. Yeah.
And it's very beautiful in general now to see, for me who got to know you like 1.5 years ago, to see how you've stepped into your power more and more, and how, as you said, that out of darkness you've created something that's flourishing and starting to bloom, and something that's yours, and that's, you've gathered all the learnings and insights of what doesn't resonate for you, and started to form something that is authentically your expression and what you want to offer to the world, and help other. And I guess you're a very, like, when I see you, think about a guide, like you're guiding people, right? And guiding them to remembrance, or back to themselves, or connection, and all the things, all the words we can use. But it feels like there are a lot of women maybe listening to this that can look towards you to feel the guidance back to what they know already, as we've talked about. So yeah, thank you for
I
sharing
truly
your
hope
work.
so.
No, thank you
Yeah.
for sharing your work and being so courageous, and stepping into your power in this way, because that's what's so beautiful about that. When people do that, it affects everyone else, because what we need is people that are in their truth and in their power and authentic to themselves, and through that, kind of, the world changes, it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very yeah, it's interesting. It's a lonely path, I must say. It's a very lonely path to really start to see. To
Yeah,
really start to see and to stick with your integrity and not fall into these kind of traps that is pretty much everywhere. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah, I understand.
I feel like I'm going against the whole, the whole humanity in a way. But I'm like, this is what it is. There's
Yeah,
no other way I can do it. Yeah.
yeah,
Even if I feel like every move I make right now, it's bad for business, it's bad for all of the practical things, it's bad for. But I trust it. It's like it's the only way I can do it at this point. Yeah. So I trust that it will unfold in the way it needs to unfold.
yeah. I
Yeah.
resonate a lot with that. It's like you have this inner just calling or thing that you need to do, and you can't not do it, even though it doesn't make any
Mm.
sense, and you don't know what it will
Yeah.
lead to. There's no strategy. You're just like, I'm just following whatever's whispering within me, I guess.
Yeah. It's
Intuition.
beautiful. It's not easy to get there and actually like always trust it, but when you do, it's like, yeah, things just magically appear. Yeah.
I
Mm.
think that's a quite nice note to wrap this up on.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's
Yeah.
anything else that you would like to share, or anything that you like, an offering or something that's coming up, or anything that you would like to pass on to the people that have made it this far in the conversation.
Yeah. Um, well, yeah, not really. I mean, I'm still very much in the working behind the scenes phase of my offerings, but I'm going to Europe in June. And I'm going to offer tea ceremony, actually, tea ceremony and energy work, source transmission, as I call it, or life force activation. So I'm going to do little day retreats, and I'm doing by end of summer a training as well. But it's very much not so much focus on the facilitation anymore, but more like the initiation, because I feel like you need more time with your inner journey before you step out and do this. So yeah, I'm still very much in the creation process of this. And but yeah, there will be offerings up, and right now I'm just like holding space in Ubud. People tend to just show up, and yeah, doing little groups here. So no, I guess that's pretty much it. I'm just very grateful right now.
That's so beautiful, and I'm looking forward to you bringing some tea ceremonies to Europe. I feel like we need it over here too.
Yeah, I have no idea if people are going to be into that, but I really hope people try, because it's magical. Yeah.
I would love to come. I'll follow you and
Yes.
where you pop up, and also I'll link like your Instagram and if there's any other links below the video or the podcast, so that people can follow you and will be part of your little online space.
Yes,
And
you're welcome if it resonates.
yes, and yeah, thank you so much for joining the channel and J Journeys. It's been a pleasure. It's been so lovely to speak to you and get to know more about. I've learned a lot about the tea practice and energy in general. It's you really are a guiding light within the Sigrid, and it's so beautiful to see you follow your journey and your process, and you sharing so authentically and embodied. So thank you for that, and thank you for
Thank you
being.
so much.
I look forward to having you on maybe again in the future. Maybe you'll become like the tea expert.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Yeah, for sure. I'd love to chat again. So beautiful to see you.
And I look forward to seeing you in the real world soon, maybe in Europe or in Ubud or wherever our paths cross again.
Yes, for sure. Mm.
Until then, thank you and have a beautiful rest of your day, and say hi to Rio from me, and
Yes.
lots of thank you
Lots
everyone.
of love.
Bye.